You know it as the scary hit movie, The Amityville Horror, but he knows it as something else. Home. He lived there as a boy.
Were you scared living there?
Horror House or Hoax. Inside Edition takes him back to the real house in Amityville.
It is one of the scariest horror movies to hit the screens, and now the remake of the Amityville Horror is getting big audiences at movie houses. But is Hollywood's treatment of what happened in that house in Amityville anywhere close to what really happened? In an exclusive interview, Diane McInerney talked with the first time the man who grew up there and found out what he says is hoax and what really is horror.
It's supposed to be based on a true story, a claim that's helped put the Amityville Horror at the top of the movie charts. But we spoke to someone who says Hollywood's treatment of the whole Amityville case is horrifying.
I was absolutely disgusted with what I'm seeing.
Christopher Quaratino is in a position to judge. As a boy, he fled this house with his mom and adoptive father, Kathy and George Lutz, starting the whole Amityville saga. We went back to the home with Christopher, and in an exclusive first-ever interview, he blasted what he sees as the untruths in the movie.
The only thing that they got right is that our family moved in that house and we left.
This is the house in Amityville, Long Island that the horror movie is based on. As you can see, the infamous windows have been changed and the home has gone through several owners since George Lutz and his family fled from here almost 30 years ago.
Christopher Quaratino is the little boy in both the new movie version and the 1979 original, starring James Brolin and Margot Kidder. But he says both movies are far from accurate. This scene, for instance.
That didn't happen.
Again, that's Hollywood portraying the story.
Or this one.
Were there swarms of flies?
There was definitely a lot of flies, nothing again like what Hollywood's portraying it.
Both movies tell the story of murders that happened in the house before the Lutzes moved in.
There was a crime, a murder.
In the house?
That part of the story is true. A man slaughtered his family, claiming spirits in the house told him to do it. The movie details how chilling events occur for the house's new occupants, the Lutz family. And although Christopher claims most of what happens in this movie is fiction, he says one scene does bear some similarity to life in the Amityville house. He says he did see a shadowy presence.
It looked as large as a man and it was heading towards me.
Were you scared living there?
At times, for sure, yes, very.
Quaratino attributes much of the Amityville hype over the years to his adopted father. He claims Lutz exaggerated stories of the house being haunted to help write the book, which started the Amityville phenomenon. In fact, they're now suing each other. Maybe a judge can get to the bottom of what really happened in that house.
Christopher Quaratino is planning his own documentary in which he says he will spell out what really did go on in the Amityville Horror House. By the way, the movie remake was #2 at the box office this past weekend.